Hello, back here talking to myself again. Um, just kind of hanging out. We it's been a pretty good day. You know, moon is still bright out tonight. It's first day. It's kind of been cool enough to wear a jacket uh, outside, which is fucking awesome. Um, in addition to that, had some good good news finally on getting everything updated for personal business that was starting up. Uh, Still got several things to do. Uh, which, like I said, I still want to make a video talk about it, but I want to talk about it once I kind of get used to doing all this. Um, you know, and I'd love to make a video just kind of giving some guidance on things that people can do. Obviously, I don't know everything. I'm still going through and figuring this shit out. Like, I didn't have nobody tell me anything. Just having to honestly kind of waste money and figure it out myself on the way. But also recording this on the tablet this time instead of the phone. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, like I say, it's cold, so I'm gonna be snotting a lot, and that's why I'm still dressing goofy. But anyways, though, in addition to that, trying to think. Another thing I wanted to kind of talk about was, I guess, just I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around these things. I don't know if it's like a generational thing because you always hear everybody say that, oh, my generation is the best, whether if it's boomers or Gen Xers, millennials, whatever, right? I think the nostalgia is trying to really start to hit the Gen Zers. And I know everybody says it's different, but everything does seem a little bit different. I'm gonna I mean, in all honesty, like with the internet in general, where everything's going to be getting heavily censored. Uh, I truly believe it's already here to a certain degree. Um, it kind of feels like, in a way, the last shot to have some authentic, presence on the internet. If you just want to fuck around and try it, just go ahead and try it. I mean, what have you got to lose? Like, in all honesty, like, AI's been here forever. It's just kind of got to where your normal people, everyday people can fuck with it. But honestly, some of the memes and shit that they make with it is funnier than real people, which is crazy, think about. But in addition to that, like, used to, I'd always be so excited for all kinds of video games that came out. Growing up, like I say, I got into retro gaming there for a long time, but I got priced out of the hobby. It's just ridiculous at this point. I like collecting the physical shit. Just do a stream at some point, but anyways, fuck it. Since we're doing the video, I rarely do this. I have a hard time public speaking without a cigarette. I need to get better at it, but whatever's. So, anyways, I'm gonna light one off the end of the other. And, but with that being said, like, I'm just not excited for video games much anymore. I'm not. there's not much I look forward to anymore. They all are either nostalgia based. A lot of them are. I'm really not trying to whisper here. I just have a bad habit of talking so low. But if anybody ever sees this, just comment some things I can improve. Really, I just want to get better at public speaking. Kind of just keep a log of basically like a journal. Um, but anyways, with video games, this is the mainstream ones and stuff. Um, AAA, whatever you want to call it. But again, talk about people getting priced out of the hobby. Which this will lead into another thing I'm going to talk about in a moment. But anyways, with the hobby, it's like everything is so politicized. Like I'm not saying one way is better than the other or what have you. Um, but everything is just so politicized, like even down to video games, you know. Um, I've heard people arguing over Pepsi versus Coke being political. I have no idea about that shit, but it's just stupid that everything has to be that. Like, at the end of the day, everybody has their own way of thinking on how they want to help improve the world. I mean, I have my own, and everyone does. But people need to focus, I guess, more on what they have in common versus what they have differently. A lot of times, I've heard some people say that, like, especially in construction, if you're working for a motherfucker, but if you are, if you got two people who, and y'all probably know what I'm talking about if you're in a relationship, I mean, it works like that as well, is you're wanting to get to the same goal, and you just have two different ways of getting there. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of times it doesn't really matter. Like, just as long as we can get there, as long as people can help one another and, you know, do good and things like that. Like, people generally mean well. I've kind of talked about this in some of the other videos. I mean, don't let people fuck you around. I mean, end of the day, you got to stick up for yourself. I truly believe that. Um, I think a lot of that comes from spirituality and stuff versus like a particular type of religion where sometimes they want you to just be walked all over. Um, because at the end of the road, everything's going to be fine. And it might be. I mean, you never know. But I don't necessarily subscribe to that. You gotta take care of yourself, your family, your own shit. Do what you gotta do. But politics is all talking. Like, don't ever let it break up friendships or anything that you value. Because, like, two people talking in a room, it ain't changing shit, you know, most of the time. Uh, so don't let that don't let that fuck everything up. I mean, we see that all the time in media and everything else. And I mean, video games are just awful and stuff. I mean, there's some indie games that come out that's like cool and shit. Uh, I've just got a massive backlog of video games though. So if I ever do stream, I mean, just being frank, a lot of it's probably going to be boring, unless you like retro games or just grind heavy games and stuff. But yeah, everything is just so politicized, and it just really sucks. Uh, Again, people need to focus on what they have in common instead of what they have, differences. You know, you can get along with anybody if you really try. And obviously, sometimes it's going to just drain all of your energy. You don't want to fuck with people. I get that, and trust me, I'm like that. I'm honestly being a bit nicer on camera than I am in real life. I think a lot of it just comes from my tiredness and, being who I am and where I grew up. Uh, no, I mean, it's a small town in the middle of nowhere, and very, very rarely. In fact, I don't think I've ever met anybody from this town. Maybe in some of the others, that's like cool, but about and knows about some real shit. But around here, base level, you know. So maybe you're stuck in a place like that. You know, it happens, but make the best of it. Sorry, donkey. Gotta get the dogs going. I need to get something to edit all this shit out. I'm gonna start making these better. But anyways, for right now, just talking to myself. Anyways, fuck it. But at the end of the day, most people mean well. Video games, they suck. I mean, it is what it is. Um, Hobbies. This topic I'm going to go into in another video too. Like I said, I got so many things I want to talk about and stuff like that. Just keep a mental note. And that's the thing too is, okay, so I'm just going to say a few things and I'll go into them in other videos. But like I mentioned, some of the other ones. I mean, two of my biggest things that I really enjoy is black metal and anime. I've been in both of those for black metal for probably about, how old am I? Probably about 12, 13 years, something like that. Um, Anime just a little bit less. I got into it a little bit late. Like I was probably right after high school. Um, I got into that. But anyways, what I've seen, especially black metal here, like in the past few years and stuff like that, it's become so politicized. It's become so bullshit. Like at the end of the day, it's not meant for you to like it. It's crazy music, whatever, right? That's why I like it. It pushes the boundaries. It pushes the norms. Um, a lot of it, if you look past the surface, a lot of it is very like spiritual, and they talk about a lot of these themes and stuff like that, and they talk about some real shit. Like that's what just really drew me into it. That I love so much. I mean, I like other metal and stuff too. I mean, some other music in general. That's kind of my bread and butter, right? Um, but anyways, along with that, which I may show off some stuff sometime, be fun. But anywho, another thing though is wanted to mention anime. We see that has happened. It's become so politicized, canceling this and that, and the Western influence, if you will, and stuff. And everything's just kind of getting shitty. Like I'm having fun going back watching old shit that I missed and stuff like that. Kind of before all this. I mean, there's still some good stuff that comes out, but a lot of it doesn't interest me, and I not really keeping up with the seasons either, like used to. Because I just felt like I was just trying to keep up with seasons, watching just so much slop. But go into that another thing. Kind of wanted to talk more about the video games right now and stuff, just because I've been listening to some stuff about it. Should reminds me the video's a little bit long. I need to shut off my phone so I don't waste all the battery. But yeah, just there's still some good shit out, but at the end of the day, there's a plethora of oldies that you can play, and the way that you can do things now. I mean, again, I like having the physical copies of stuff, but have emulated some stuff. I mean, 3DS is great for that. A lot of good games on there, DS stuff like that. Need to get a Wii U at some point, just so I can play all the old shit uh, that I've missed or been priced out of. Uh, I'm glad I got to pick up a lot of what I did before, a lot of people got into it. Like I got a Persona 2 Innocent Sin, the Americanized version, or localized, I should say, on PSP. Picked it up at GameStop, actually. And I forgot how much that's worth now, but it's crazy. I mean, in all honesty, that's probably, fuck, it's probably my favorite cast of characters on a Persona game. I just wish it had the kind of life simulator, whatever the fuck you call it and stuff, uh, in it as well. You know, like that they implemented in 3. But I got 8 years ago for nothing. I mean, of course, I've still got all my childhood collection. I love Chrono Trigger. Um, Super Mario Legends 7 Stars. I know they just had the remake, which I probably won't play. I like remasters, not remakes. Um, I don't know. A lot of it's nostalgia based. If you're not like super hard up on the nostalgia of that, because a lot of people my age groups, I grew up with Super Nintendo, so his is a little bit older. Um, Long story short, it's just what my dad had because he bought one for my half brother. So whenever he came to see him, wouldn't have to bring his own. And anyway, so dad drug it out whenever I was like, for some reason, I've remembered it in my mind that I was 2 whenever he done that. But honestly, looking at it now, because I have a 2.5-year-old, um, she's not up enough where she can really like play games or anything yet. I mean, she kind of sits with me and watches me play and plays with the controller and stuff a little bit. But I'd say that I was probably just a little bit older than that, just because I remember being like coherent enough where I could move around on it and stuff. First video game I ever played was Super Castlevania 4. Remember Dad had that, had F-Zero, and Super Mario World was the 3 games that we had starting off. There was a guy at the flea market. He, old guy, it's not around anymore. He used to sell all these old video games and stuff there. Actually got a uh, Link to the Past, which is my favorite game of all time. It goes that, Chrono Trigger, and then 7 Stars. But anyways, actually got it new in box then. Of course, it's been opened, been played and stuff. Still had the box manual, everything like that. I've always tried to take really good care of that shit, even as a kid. I was so fucking weird. But I've never had a video game or a CD or anything like tear up on me. Unless it was intentional. But even then, I'm trying to think if anything was intentional. But maybe like some burnt CDs or whatever. Had a cassette or 2, just because they kind of randomly get 8. But anyways, so with that being said, yeah, it's a lot of people in my age group. They came up on the 64. Some never got anything till PS2, which that would have dropped whenever I was like 3 or 4 or whatever it was. So that would have been the new thing at the time. But anyways, I never got a PS2 until after I got a Wii. So I've been kind of all over the place. Just got a PS5 this year. And yeah, I'm one of those console mainly guys. It's not the best way to play games, obviously. Nowadays, I recognize it's PC. I mean, I do have game PC, thanks to my homie, hooked me up on it. And I've had it for a little bit of time. Where I was living at before I moved out here, actually I had really good internet for the time and the place. And until we was able to get Starlink out here, barely had enough internet to actually watch a YouTube video. My legs are itching really bad. First snap of cold weather, so you've seen me moving around a lot. That's what it is. So I didn't really get to play it a whole lot. Played some single player games, like mostly just RPG Maker games. I love the 16-bit era, specifically Super Nintendo. A lot of nostalgia. So I played a shitload of RPG Maker games and stuff like that. The last game that I actually got super excited about was The Coffin of Andy and Lily. I played it whenever the second part of the story had dropped. It was a little bit before everybody kind of started hating all over it. Um, it was, I think the game's amazing. It didn't deserve all the hate, which is another thing that's so weird to me. It's like, I know people can argue this to death, but a horror game, dogs are probably still starting to get wild. It's him running, but um, it's a horror game that has horror stuff in it, and then people got mad about it. Like, people make waifus out of everything, so I don't know. I don't really get it. It's kind of the same thing with like black metal, which I'll go into another video. I kind of want this to be video game specific, but uh, it's kind of like that's kind of the point of it, you know. It's supposed to be appalling in a way, you know. Uh, so yeah, there's that game's I was super hype about it. Fell in love with it actually. Um, I play because I actually played it on my old shitty laptop because it's run on there too, which is great about all those games. Then I played a Needy Streamer Overload, I believe is the name of it. It's the VTuber simulator, Minhara shit. I mean, it's cool. I enjoyed it too. Then I also played. What's the other one? It's the guy where you're going there, going down to hell, and you're creating the harem. It's a pretty quick game. It's like a little puzzle game. I mean, it's cool. I forgot what it is. Oh my gosh. Anyways, though, if anybody sees this, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, PC fucked out on me, or the laptop, I should say. I mean, it probably was an easy fix. Um, Probably should have just. I could have watched a video and figured it out. I just never did. I just bought a new little shitty laptop for, some business purposes because our um, business that we're starting up does require fucking typing Word document, printing bullshit and everything like that. So I just bought a cheapo um, last Black Friday. But anyways, I'll just replace it with it because I had the game PC, and then like I said, I've got the tablet which we use to watch anime and stuff off of. But anyways, though, yeah, no, state of video games does suck. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, just know that there's a plethora of old games that are great, and even though they do suck, the way that things usually seem to happen with everything is you'll have a point in which shit is really cool, then it gets super popular, normies come in, kind of fuck it up. Seeing that with anime right now, seeing it with black metal right now. Of course, the thing is with black metal though is it's a bit different because none of these motherfuckers make money off this shit anyways. So I don't think that's anything you can really stop. Um, Whereas like anime, you gotta have money to make this shit. Unless you're fucking doing a fan made Toho anime or something. Motherfuckers are wild, but uh, which is awesome. I mean, there needs to be more shit like that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, black metal's not really monetizable at this point, anyways. And most of the people that's complaining about it aren't really into the shit. Same way with anime too. Uh, and same with video games. Like everybody I know at this point, see, used to, people get fucked around for playing video games and stuff. I grew up, again, Super Nintendo, then I had a PS1, so I had like what I consider to be the golden age of turn-based RPGs, which is the main shit that I still play. Um, Grew up with those, and then had a GameCube. So I didn't get that until later on. I was the only motherfucker in school that I knew that had a GameCube. Everybody else was PS2, knew one dude with the Xbox. So it's anyways, you get fucked out on because like, oh, you're playing that old kid Mario shit, you know what I'm saying, instead of Grand Theft Auto or whatever. But as time I was like, oh man, that sucks, But same point though, I had a lot of fun playing that shit. I don't regret it at all. Like I love it. I mean, the here's another quick story. Was on the GameCube had Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Uh, you had to have to play multiplayer is so weird. I don't even really remember. I need to hook it all up, try to go through it again sometime. Maybe do that on stream with my wife or something, be great. But to play 2 player, you had to have 2 Game Boys hooked up to it. So I had a OG Game Boy Advance, which sucked. I had to have the little antenna looking light thing that came down on like that with the so you can see the screen. But anyways, eventually got a Game Boy Advance SP. Which the story with that is real quick is that it was Christmas. Basically, there was 4 guys that was in my class at school at this time because I went to like a smaller Christian school, and I remember one of the guys got a black one, other one got a blue one, the other one I think got a gray one, and I didn't get one that Christmas. Right, well, my birthday is like basically a month after Christmas, so I got the red one. So I want one that's different color, right? This time with the SP, of course, but I don't know if I clarified that. But anyway, so I was the only one out without that. I was like, fuck, you know. But I think this was first grade, maybe. First grade, maybe. Anyways, could have been second though. Shit. Anyways, so I ended up getting that, so that was cool. But anyways, me and my dad, we played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, so we had to have both those to be able to play. And I really fucked around with the Moogles and stuff. That was always fun. But the first time I ever watched an anime that I was aware that it was an anime, not talking about Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, because I was in all that shit, and Dragon Ball, you know, you see that every now and again. And then some of those other ones like Zatch Bell and Bobobo, and then the Ultimate Muscle they had on there, Sonic X, Kirby. I mean, I always fucked with that shit, but it was Full Metal Alchemist. I remember me and my dad stayed up late. I mean, it was dark outside. I don't know if it's really late or if it's in wintertime and it just seemed late, whatever it was. But I remember me and him, we stayed up late and played that. Then they was running Full Metal Alchemist on fucking Toonami or whatever and stuff like that. And then I remember they had a thing, I think, where they said it was anime. And anyways, I only watched like an episode or two. But that's one of the memories I'll always hold dear and stuff like that is being exposed to something like that. Which I'll tell my story with anime at some point too. And I'll do more of an in-depth story about my video games and stuff at some point as well. In fact, who knows, I may make another video just kind of dedicated to that. Because I kind of like, I mean, I kind of been rambling. I mean, showing this almost 30 minutes at this point. I just got the low battery sign. You can pop up on here, but anyways, though, it's I just kind of wanted to touch on some memories and just kind of get some stuff off my chest. The things are looking up. I'm in a lot better mood. Shit's going like it should. Wife's birthday's coming up here soon, which I'm excited for. And also, you know, just so many people give up hope or they get to where they want to pick a side over something. At the end of the day, I don't feel like you really have to pick a side. You can just fuck off from it, and no attention is bad attention. Any attention is good attention, you know. Again, these cliche things, but there is some truth in it. But yeah, I promise you, play some of these oldies. They're really cool. A lot of them story based, if you like that, and you haven't delved into them a whole lot. But they're really cool. You can get them all online for free, anyways. I mean, fuck. And just start going through them. Just look up basically whatever type of game that you like. I mean, if you like FPSs, you're probably fucked. I mean, but they're all. I don't want to say they're all the same because people say the same thing, you know, about what I like. Cause I fucking love Dragon Quest. Every one of them is the same. Well, I heard my buddy say this. Everyone is the same, but for some reason, they're able to make them better every time. Like, it's weird, but I fucking love Dragon Quest. I mean, the new Dragon Quest is great. You know, so But anyway, so there's a plethora of old games. That's cool. I mean, just get into that. You ain't got to play all this new slop. You ain't got to worry about all this other shit. Just keep playing the same shit. I mean, world's at your fingertips as far as video games go. No stress about it. But anyways, though, been fun talking to myself. I may shoot another one right after this. I'm having kind of a little bit of fun, and I think I want another cigarette before I go in for a night. So, anyways, take it easy.